Very crucially, not the maps that we're
They
playing.
are not the same.
Yeah. Very much not. So, anyways, we have actually gone live here, so no more stat tinkering from us. We are going live here on this first mid. Looks like we got a demo man at the bottom and a demo man at the top. What are you seeing here?
Okay, I'm seeing Eames is taking like the centerpiece, while Delhi's prioritizing more of the kind of right side. I guess they just want to switch sides mostly over on 3.5 stars, but they've given up so much ground. Look at Ora Elektro claiming the 3 real estate here, Vita, and you can see why it's kind of hotly contested in most games. It's really, really good just to hold that middle area and get access to all spots at that midpoint.
Chris just instantly jumped Patchouli on that mid and took him down just very, very quickly. Just 3 crisp rockets. No one was really there to clean him up properly, or at least not able to do it in time. It's going to be a full advantage. Alien on sniper in spawn, just looking to pick off anyone as they peek their head through the door. We're probably just going to see like a pop in here. And we have been seeing a lot of Eames in the skybox kind of Ubers on this map.
Oh, speaking of Eames in the skybox, he's jumped up, but he's been actually pushed back by the sentry gun. Almost got spammed out earlier, but survived by the skin of its teeth. The Uber's gone out now, so they have to just kind of battle it out, skirmish it from here. But the Fat Man is out, and the Fat Man is difficult to deal with in such open ground such as Granary. So he's going to switch out, though, as they need to try and transition this defense into a push here, Vita.
Yeah, not quite enough. There's actually a scout on the flank. I'm pretty sure that's Yeehaw. It's kind of what he does.
Oh, the meat shot special. You shoot the scout, damage yourself, and the scout just meat shots you twice. The man turns round. He's going back for QB, and QB is like, I'm not fighting this kid. This kid is just something
Ubers
different.
have come out, though. There was just enough pressure there to make Patchouli pop. It was a bit of a pussy pop, I think. Not quite good enough.
Oh,
and Delhi goes down. Very aggressive play coming out from Nevo. Takes down the demo man. This should be the second point going here to 3.5 stars. Like, having a demo man inside here is just so important. Like, if there's ever a point on any competitive map where demo man is overpowered, it's Granary second. Everything is enclosed. You can just lob sticks in with really nice distances. And they're actually going in here with not a lot of players in here. They're going to really struggle to find kills, I think. But they are in.
Oh, they've switched sides magnificently, though. Not only have they taken out the sentry gun, but they've taken out Delhi. He's the carry, by the way. And also, he's got the carry class. No stickies on point means the point opens up a bit. But they have got the next overpowered thing they could run with is the heavy weapons guy. He's got a load of health that they have to chew through. And Rons is being chewed through as we speak. He goes down to the heavy weapons guy. And, oh, Yeehaw will manage to weasel his way out of there, but it's got a sting. You had such a good start there for Ora Elektro.
Yeah, they got in pretty quickly, but at the cost of that was that they didn't quite have the firepower to really clean up. I thought it was a very aggressive move. Like, I think a lot of teams would have just slowed it down, waited for some respawners, and then gone in with a smaller advantage, right, where you risk the enemy medic getting Uber, but you have so many more people to actually do damage while you Uber in here. We're seeing a lot of spam coming in here onto this second point. The scout tried to edge it out. Most scouts are doing it now, and eventually they are going to be able to get it. Pretty nice job there, and or like just making them earn it. And we are in probably one of my favorite stalemates. We're on this second point where you just don't quite have enough heals and manpower to watch every door properly, and you can get overwhelmed very easily. If you look in like the ramp room, you can see Cube is pretty far forward. He can get overwhelmed very easily if he's not careful. And same thing for anyone else trying to go into these stairs.
Yeah, they don't try to hold the ramp room too hard. They just have a pair of eyes on them, see if they go in. They pop in nice and early, though, over on Eames and company. Nevo will force out the Uber, or it's more like Patchouli wanted to force out the Uber. Just get proactive with the defense, and Rons will go down in all the casualties and the leftover post Ubers. They try to see if they can rupture this right-hand side. They send AZN in, but they rotate all of Ora Elektro. They saw this coming. QB does sneak in from drop down, gets Trum. If they can keep Patchouli alive, they could maybe summon a second defense here, but QB's going to have to do some work from the backside.
It was a great play there from QB to get in there and get the medic, but everything else was just way in favor of Ora Elektro. It was really great play. They're not quite going to be able to get in there, just the heals and respawners come from Patchouli too much. And this is probably going to be a recap. You can see Ron is trying his best to try just spam them out, not giving them any free points, but yeah, it's just a scout edging the point. There's pretty much no way in. We're kind of in a small stalemate. It might be a seesaw situation where you have a small Uber, but it's pretty difficult to get out of this door, but they're going to go out through the other one. See if they can get close, but then when it gets air shot, put into the skybox, actually craters of all things. That could definitely put a damper on any kind of aggressive push here.
You've got a moral dilemma here if you're 3.5 stars. Do you push in without your demo man with the Uber advantage, or do you retreat? And it looks like 3.5 stars have decided to play the more defensive route, seeing if they can just delay things and get their demo man back to the front line and just deal with the fact that the Uber charge is wasted.
I really like this decision. Usually having the Uber advantage in the yard area means jumping in the demo man and sticking off the exits, which are pretty tight and small and kind of spread out. So if the medic decides to go one way, you can very easily bomb him in here and just get him. But yeah, losing the demo man, none of that is an option, so they just decide not to go for it, and I like that. And again, just Uber from up top. Last time around, Ron's got kind of caught in trying to get behind, but this time around he has more success, it looks like, but he's being chased.
Well, he's trying to be chased. He's actually dodging them quite well and getting some casualties in the back boots and really turning heads and taking lives. They even get Weasel in another player. QB's going to have to do a lot of heavy lifting to kind of pick up for the slack of his teammates, but they do actually hold and sustain. Neo wants to stick around though, takes the scout 1v1, but it's not a 1v1 anymore. It's a 2v1 and he still loses the 1v1. And you have Trump trying to surf in, maybe get a crossbow, maybe get an Uber sword, but it's all for naught. He will go down last, and they're going to feel the ramifications of this now. Not only have they held second on 3.5 stars, but they're ready to make this mid push.
Nevo very brave there, just going basically big dick mode and then having his skirt lifted and the horrible truth was revealed.
Oh my, Vito. Mother Turbo watches these streams, please.
Oh, sorry, I didn't realize it was a Christian stream. Anyway, we have the medic going in, getting bombed by his own. Nice surf here coming up from Patchouli, not popping.
Oh, QB, what's this boy have for? Oh, QB, oh no, well, that was definitely two sides of a coin there. Eames, he's kind of being rushed a little bit. He would love a crossbow, but all these crossbows are being missed or near misses. They have to retreat back. Eames wants to hold. He wants to hold the left yard. There's only two of them, though, in this area. If 3.5 stars want to make an aggressive push of it, they could, but they decide to settle for just capping the midpoint collectively and try and hold the top area instead. Eames is still going in, despite Yeehaw going down. Their top stat scout goes down, but Chris equals it out with a kill onto Delhi. It seems Delhi hasn't really had the superstar game that he usually punches out, and they've lost another casualty as well. Raph, the leader, also drops down. They're losing every player one by one, and they're still committing. They use an Uber. What is this Uber coming out 3.5 stars? They're trying to get out with Patchouli, but he actually doesn't get out. I thought they would keep chasing that.
Scout taxi strong. It gets you out, and it looks like they want to go back in. They're definitely thinking about at least contesting it somewhat and see if they can catch out anyone who's holding too far forward. It looks like that's not quite going to be able to be the deal, but the demo of Delhi, so aggressive, so punished immediately. That didn't... I don't quite understand his thought process there. Like, did he really think he could go in there and just block it by getting a kill? I'm pretty sure he even got a kill. That wouldn't have worked.
That would have been disgusting if Chris made that little turn there. QB does manage to finish off Chris that was playing the runaway game for so long, but he does make a lot of space for his team because that was like the entire 3.5 squad drawn back. Raph catches Nevo on surprise, takes the blind corner and kills him off, so that equalizes out that little advantage. They're playing a bit of rotation game and keeping Ora Elektro on their toes, and they're forced to back out just because they're overwhelmed from all sides here, Vita.
We might see them try to bust through. They do have a one-man advantage. We can see Chris playing far forward, just doing his best to actually spam. Actually, Ron's going to try and go behind.
Oh.
It will distract them, but he's going to pay for it with his life. Yeah.
That was a positive outlook of that little suicide. He was a distraction, all right. Well, with him going down, it is difficult to push through this ramp room, and actually they've God, Delhi's gone down first again for the squad. I guess that's the trap on the door. AZN tries to get through the little small top area as well. It's not looking good. Everyone's just suiciding themselves off in this game, Peter.
Deli just acting as the anvil that just smashes in the door. And it's not really working out for him because he's not actually, he's pretty brittle, so to speak.
Not so much a steel anvil, more like a biscuit anvil.
Yeah. I assume that's an English thing?
No, I just really jonesing for a biscuit right now. They're soft and delicious. And so is Deli. Went to Ora Elektro. They throw in Chris. They see if they can force out the Uber. Truly doesn't really flinch at all. So, but that's license for Ora Elektro to maybe get an off class here.
You could also go for the banner. This is a pretty good map for it. Probably not so much on offense as defense, but like defensive banners are actually surprisingly strong on Granary. Like you can build it pretty damn easily. It's sort of the same thing that makes Crits Creeks so good, where you go up top, right, and then you're almost guaranteed to hit people with the crit rockets. But you can kind of do the same thing, just building a banner. Like you're not critting anyone, but you're just getting guaranteed rockets up top. And you can just, if there's no one up top, you can just go out up top and then spam down onto the point and you'll probably hit someone. Oh my god, sort of gets on the medic, just AZN completely blindsides Trump. It's going to have to force him. Like, they're not even close to being able to get anyone near patch.
Yeah, they almost humoured the idea, but it's a sentry gun they have to deal with as well, Beta, with that tail end of the Uber. It just isn't worth it. So they decided to just play it back and see if they can deal with the obviously aggressing 3.5 stars now. They're trying to force left side, and top area has been traded out, so it's looking like anybody's kind of push right now. I know they have an Uber charge of 3.5 stars.
Scout snuck behind.
Play.
He's on the point.
He's very low. Very low though. Only 38
Chris
feet.
as well.
Oh yeah, he throws himself on the point as well, but he's a 1x warrior, and they still haven't spent the Uber charge over on 3.5 stars, but so much time was wasted with all this back cap defending. I don't think they can even make use of it anymore.
Yeah, it actually just worked out perfectly. So even though they didn't get the cap, they just wasted enough time that it was totally worth it to go back there. There's even a lot of time on the point as well, which means that any push is just automatically twice as dangerous because people can just slip behind, and even the one cap warrior, as you said, can actually cap it out right now.
Well, Eames, he wants to get proactive with these Ubers. Need I remind
Chris is in deep, so is Ron's. Like they're definitely looking like they want to go, but they're just not quite finding the opportunity. ASEAN is in a great position to jump in again. He actually could have done it again. Raph will go down, so that's probably why he didn't go for it. But yeah, they're just not looking at top very intently on Ora Elektro, and that makes me nervous.
Yeah, top has been neglected a lot. They like to do this, I see from their gameplay. Ora Elektro like to blob up. That's a defensive unit almost. They get Deli again. That's a bit of a question mark. How on earth does a man die this much? On his last point, it's the most valuable defense class on his team.
Well, no matter how he did it, he leaves a void. That's for sure.
Oh, that's a lot of damage. That's a lot of damage. Bronze comes in, cuts off that sort of defensive backline jumps from the soldiers. They exchange Ubers out, but the scouts are kind of waiting about in the wings. They can start playing the point immediately, and they haven't really got Deli's stickies to rely upon. Chris is taking his time just because he's so low, and I can't believe it to say how good things were looking for Elektro. They still can't cap last.
Yeah, the Uber lasted slightly longer than 3.5 stars, and QB made the most of it. Just two-shotting some soldiers down. Really important stuff. Gonna allow his team to go forward. Pat Julie did die at the tail end of that whole fight, so not quite enough sustain and heal to actually cap it out. And now it's gonna be Trump with the big move. They're gonna get another shot at this TurboTabs, and hopefully they learn their lesson.
Well, this sentry gun has been doing a bit of a number on these last defences, wasting time, just being a nuisance generally. I think Eames also likes to jump in quite early with the Uber charge, and this counters it quite well. And there we go, he's gonna do it again, he's gonna get launched back again, and that sentry gun still hasn't been dealt with, so finally it goes down, but the Uber charge is completely expended. They've all blobbed up over on the safe side, they've got the heavy weapons guy. It's looking like a day of Groundhog in this match server beta.
Yeah, Ron's is up top here, like medic. Trump might go down. Oh no, Ron doesn't even get that. But it looks like Trump is actually going to make it out. I don't think they realize how weak he is. Soda is still chasing though, so maybe hold on to that thought. No, okay, Sniper has seen him. Nero was just in spawn. But yeah, like the...
Oh my god! What was that? Okay, well, he just waved his magic sniper wand and he got magically killed that scout.
Yeah, I kind of want to see the Eames Skybomb bomb, where they go out through the right door for them instead of the left one, because Eames is just jumping straight into the sentry gun and just being immediately ricocheted back out of the fight, and it's just not working out for them. Whereas if you go really high from the other door, you can actually like put 2 stickies on the sentry gun and just like insta kill it.
Yeah.
With the fight.
Yeah, if you get the right angle attacking that sentry gun, you can actually speed past it quicker than it can turn its little turret. So maybe that's what he's trying to bank for, but it's happened a few times now. Even the lowly caster has noticed the pattern. Surely these Prem players can notice the pattern and adapt as well, Vita.
I don't think they're nearly as smart as us in TurboTabs.
Oh, that's exactly the words I wanted to hear. Oh, Rons jumps in, tries for Chuli's life, brought him down to half HP, but I don't think he was worried. He's counting rockets.
I mean, that was a good try. It was a perfectly executed speed jump, and he hit the first rocket, and unfortunately he didn't have time to get off the second one, but hey, sometimes you get the second rocket off. No problem. No. Chris gonna punish Rap. Rap is just in deep so often. Like, Rap stats are ugly, and Deli again is playing point forward, and he probably shouldn't be.
It hurts, because that's a hard push to make. You've got so much high ground against you, you have to jump into scouts, and Raf was trying to be his eyes and ears for his team to kind of coordinate and push in, and in the committal, he ends up trying to back out, getting punished, and then his team overcommitted as well. Maybe following orders, maybe save man syndrome, who knows, as we're making another attempt to push in. There's no sentry gun to deal with now. It's time for plan C already. Get that heavy weapons guy out and see if you can just draw out the long fight. Rons goes down immediately. Patchouli goes down.
What?
Tron on the crossbow. A massive crossbow. The sniping prowess played by the medic of Ora Elektro. They could definitely push off this, Peter.
That was such a non-scary situation for Patchouli. Like, there's no way he dies to anything other than a medic arrow. But hey, he dies to it, and he's actually gonna kind of follow by. He went in through the other door. He locks down the right door and then goes for the sentry gun. And now, the first thing, they have a lot of space going in here. And if they can just pressure the point, they should get this.
Well, they're trying to do some point pressure, but I think not everybody was connected on the same wavelength there, Beta. Some people were trying to attack some players. There was a bit of rockets here and there.
Okay, he doesn't want it.
Okay, no, it's a heavy weapons guy. This heavy really has been the bane for their last attacks for Ora Elektro. I mean, the sentry gun didn't really do too much there, and they still struggled to fight it all off. Eames even had a good sort of foothold on that left-hand door for a little bit, I thought.
Yeah, and this is a good time to remind you that we're 22 minutes in and we still haven't gotten around. Seen a lot of back and forth action, but no one has been able to crack these last holes. There's been sentries, there have been heavies on pipes, and there's been... Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's what they haven't been able to solve yet.
What's more frustrating, Vita? Fluffing up your last pushes or just being stuck defending last for ages? Who's the more stressed team here?
Well, holding last is always more stressful, but it's more annoying to just fail last pushes over and over again, because as the team defending, you're kind of feeling comfortable, even if you're in a bad position on the map. Whereas if you keep failing, you're just kind of like, oh man, we should have been ahead 3-0, man. Come on, man. You tend to beat yourself up more.
Yeah, I hear you. It sucks. The general situation sucks for the defending squad, but at least you got these little pick-me-ups of like, hey guys, we defended again, and they must be really frustrated. While it goes in the opposite direction. You're winning on the aggressor's side, but you can't just finish and clean your plate.
Yeehaw did I want to play sniper suicide, so let's see. Yeah, he switched sniper. He just ran in, and like, there wasn't a whole lot of prospect for what he was doing. It looked very dumb, and usually when that's the case, a Prem scout, it means they want to play sniper, and that is exactly what Yeehaw was doing.
Yeah, and he's a talented sniper, so I am all eyes on Yeehaw. First shot, most important shot for any sniper piece. So you got the element of surprise. And Deli the carry, can't really shoot him. Can you shoot him from that tire? I see the dot, but I'm not sure if I can see the bullet going
I mean,
through.
why not try? He's been dying to everything else so far in this match, so... Just
Thread the needle. Do it, Yeehaw. Oh, you can't shoot through it. He tried.
Oh my god. Oh, Rod's gonna go down. That means he can go for a banner, but of course, until then, they're gonna be pressured out quite a bit. Pretty uncomfortable pushing into a sniper, even on the second point. Like, there's basically only 1 or 2 angles that the sniper can do. But it's still so enclosed that you can't really jump around and move a lot.
Oh no, that was very scary. Trump seeing the barrel of a sniper rifle there. If QB was a bit hot off his fingers, maybe had a bit of that quick sweeping Nevo action, might have got the snipe onto the medic, but dodges appropriately, goes behind the post, and Yeehaw is still roaming about free on this sniper.
Classic forward hold. You see the sentry gun near the point, and then you see the medic really far forward. The main thing that you need to keep in mind here is to stop people from jumping in through the window. Right? If you can like have someone drop down onto the medic through the window, you're good. Snipe. Yeah, you tried, man. Like, you really tried to get in there. You kind of have to do something, but this position is just built for denying snipers.
You've heard of MVPs, Beta, but have you heard of, like, I don't know, MV maps? I'm trying to make a trend here, but basically these doorways are just a pain for both of these teams. They can't really just get through and do what they want to do.
MVA maps as an MVM? Yeah, I've heard of it.
Okay, lad. We're in a stalemate. We're clutching at straws here. We can't be all great anecdotes. Anyway, speaking of not great, Rons goes down for another little sort of bomb attempt. It hurts being the roam alive. You're just throwing yourself in there because you're the most active player that can.
Alien that's committed. He wants to get in there. And actually, Alien's gonna take down Yeehaw. So all
1
of a sudden,
HP.
yeah, this is a very dangerous flank.
Oh, they're just trying to edge the point again. This has worked many times. Oh god, Eames and company has had enough of it. He's just popped Uber around this corner, forced Petruli's hand, and they want to bait them into the yard area, but they're instead just like, okay, 3-second point, thank you.
8 minutes remaining, and we are now stuck in a pretty even situations. This is the fun. This is the fun place.
Is that the sentence? You know? This is the fun. Yes, it is. Well, now
so like, I was gonna say this is the fun stuff. I was like, that's a little hard. That's too much.
Well, no round timer can save you now. They round minute timer and the server timer has overlapped, so this is it. Going here or bust.
Oh, Soda goes in, but no one to be found. And Ora Elektro, they eventually managed to just force their way in. No Uber advances to speak of. And they just did a lot of damage, outpositioned them. As Chris gonna try his best to get in there, but not quite enough. Yeehaw is not able to get onto the medic as well. This is a Yeehaw thing. Whenever a soldier bombs in, you should probably be looking at Yeehaw instead, because that's where he strikes.
I feel like Yeehaw is playing so cocky. I mean, I'm sure that's probably a reason why he got 38 kills on Snakewater in their previous little fight and bout with each other. But this kid, I don't think he's got any other button on the keyboard apart from W.
Yeah, it's like whenever he goes too far forward, it seems like 3.5 stars are just really intent and keen on just making sure he gets punished immediately. Like you don't see Yeehaw taking a lot of 1v1s on the flank because he can't. Like, it's been like won the entire game. So that's how you deal with a really strong DM scout, especially when he's the flank scout. Like, you just make sure that he ends up in 1v3s, and like no one wins those.
Alright, we're having another little Eames bomb. He's getting denied, and actually QB goes down on this heavy weapons guy uncharacteristically early.
Oh, the medic drop!
Oh no, well, with Patchouli, they have an Uber. Where is this Uber? They've actually backed out of it.
The 4-man sack. It's a thing, apparently. Second's gonna fall for sure, but that was a very weird push. Like, you know, they jumped in Eames and everything, so that just looked like a push, and Patchouli, he didn't want to pop, and yeah, Soldier just eventually got onto him, and it was a 4-man push or sack.
Yeah, I can see why most medics won't pop there. You usually want to see the opposing medic pop, and then obviously use yours. You'll come out in the better post Uber, so he just held onto it for dear life. But I wonder if there was one surprising shot or factor
Will
that gone
Eames
into
get
it.
juggled by the sentry gun?
Oh, he goes lower. He's found the weakness. The sentry gun does nothing when it can't shoot at him. Oh, Delhi goes down again. They need to play the point. If they can get on top of the point now and just deal with these soldiers, I think they have a good chance of winning this out. They take out both one soldier, but the other soldier might as well be taken care of as well. They've finally done it. They've got their last point, and it took forever, Beat.
They solved it. They went in. They didn't get denied by the sentry gun. He went lower, and then everyone else from Ora Elektro, they all just coalesced on the right side, managed to just blob up, take down a lot of players, and then eventually win the DM fight. So that took a while to break, but eventually Eames' brain was just too big, and he managed to solve this, I'm going to say, very complicated problem, but I keep pushing kind of that.
Well,
there's still 4 minutes remaining.
The next step now is to not insta-lose another round. How many times have we seen a round go on for so long and then the other team equally opposes out? They all throw all resources onto the Patchouli sort of bomb, and they will get him, but it's cost them midpoint. And QB's even thinking about fishing for more kills here. Yeehaw's being annoying behind, but with one scout caught behind, maybe they could just keep pushing here, because that's like a scout dead to the world.
Kind of spawn camp, because it's a demo man and a medic, and neither of those classes are very good at dealing with scouts.
He's not even spawn camping though. He's on the prowl for these soldiers. These 1v1 situations that they're scared of. He's running away. AZN's like, give me the help. Oh, he's dead and down. And Yeehaw, he's back with his team.
Yeah, just links up. That's pretty well played, but the double back cap going on. This could be pretty dangerous. There's a soldier and a scout coming in here. Raph's still alive.
He wants it. He gets it. He's actually, and he's spamming around this corner. He can't find him for a second. But, well, this is embarrassing. They have to go and cap it all over again, despite having a full Uber charge and kind of drawing all of 3.5 stars back. 3.5 stars just doubled down and make them back more.
Yeah, this is super annoying for Ora Elektro. You could see the Nevo Uber cannon was just loaded behind the corner. But there's just not quite the right situation to go in. You can just see him just sitting there seething with anger, like, oh, I want to frag, I want to go now. But he just couldn't go to the back cap. So really great cap there. Raph, he wasn't able to go all the way behind and cap to last, but he did more than enough to just turn the tide of this game.
Okay, so a familiar state. They throw in AZN, nice crisp rocket, nice crisp bomb, and a crisp pop to boot. So with Chum lacking an Uber charge, but 3 players down, you could just call that a good Uber, Vita.
Yeah, it's not the worst. Like, they're probably going to get this midpoint unless they decide to just win very aggressively.
He wants to come back into the fight. It's Delhi against the world. Let's see. Duck hunt anybody. Can you hit them in the sky? And he cannot. He can't seem to get a single one.
Damage on that. That's very unfortunate.
Oh, they're all coming back in as well, and they're going to actually finish off capping this point. They have got a bit of respawners coming back now because they tried to hold on to this midpoint. Very crucial bomb coming out from Raph, getting the advantage in the Demoman department for his team. They just need to sustain this point and keep it well defended, as each player that goes down for both of these squad, it hurts poor Ora Elektro just that bit more, because they're lacking that respawn advantage.
Trum's now, he's going to have the Uber advantage, but in no position to use it at all. Very unfortunate for them. This feels bad, and this is going to be a weird situation. There's a 1.5 minute remaining-ish, and you have the Uber advantage, but you can't really push on this. And there's no way you push all the way back to the enemy last. Like, that's very unlikely, so you're probably just holding. Oh, there's a demo sack of all. Oh, and it gets the force. It was just the demo man.
Taste of their own medicine, I guess. 3.5 stars like, oh, that was a cute play. I think we'll take it, thank you. But again, I think about it again, Beta. Was this just what you call a good Uber, where they take so many players out, they just push them from second point. They have to maybe even give up midpoint as well. They're reconnecting everybody with some heals, but is Eames saying it? Is he saying the words, Beta? That famous Twitch clip? Don't push.
I'm actually surprised they're not holding choke. Like,
don't push.
This seems like a really good time.
We're not going to mid.
this seems like a really good time to actually hold forward, because that's going to delay them a lot. Like, now second's just going to fall for sure.
Oh, Vance has gone down. They've Ubered. They've managed to get behind them. They have a sentry gun to deal with a bit awkwardly. They take it out now. Nevo even gets to switch off from the class, and Eames is just desperately trying to get stickies onto the point. It's getting desperate. 10 seconds left on the clock. They're throwing everybody on it. There's more red players than there are blue. There's a few more. This man is survive. It's just Patchouli left. They will defend it. It was brought back to its last second of the game, and it will be one clear difference between these two teams. One round for Ora Elektro.
But that was close. Jesus Christ. That was like a few seconds away from being a 1-1. And yeah, neither team really looking super strong in this. First one, maybe it's the nerves, the playoff jitters coming into effect. But like, I don't even know what to expect for the second map just based off of this, because that was super, like, anxiety driven, I feel like.
You know what my favorite thing about watching a high pressure situation upon all these different points of view, Beta, is what? You see scouts and soldiers flailing their mouses everywhere, glucking in every single direction. Meanwhile, the demo men just look at the point and keep mashing stickies on it. It was poetic. Oh, yeah. It was beautiful. All right. Well, Eames, his poetic sticky have clinched him this round and this map. It's the first step, but he's still got a couple more steps to go. Need I remind you, it's a best of 3. They need one more map under, and there's 2 more maps potentially left to play. I think this was the first map choice for I think it was Ora Elektro. I imagine they'd get first pick, but you know, don't quote me on that. Anyway, let's head over to the logs, Beta. Let's see if there's more little gems that we've missed out in the mathematical.
Well, I mean, I always look at damage first, right? So AZN doing a ton of damage. Usually, I mean, this is a good soldier map, so usually soldiers will have really good damage, and so will demo men. But I think the thing that I'm noticing the most of this is Delhi going 13 for 18. 18 devs is way too much for a demo man.
I'm gonna defend the poor lad just a little bit. They were gunning for him. A lot of these last pushers, these Ubers, the guy was just being, W'd upon. Suicidal yeehaws just being thrown in there, which, I mean, to say his playstyle, he's split even. 18 kills for 18 deaths. That's still quite an interesting stat line in of itself. But you're also a little bit right as well. Delhi was just dying in places he shouldn't be dying.
Yeah. And I'm not sure how I really explain it. I feel like he just went in very confident through chokes and then got killed for it. He got punished for his positioning.
I just don't know how you can be the first casualty in these sorts of things. It wasn't even like the first person to die during a push. It would just be sometimes he would just die, like during a stalemate. How does that even happen?
Yeah, usually the way TF2 at a high competitive level works is that you have soldiers and scout leading from the front, and then you have the demo man kind of safely-ish shooting from behind them and kind of baiting his teammates to get an easy kill.
Like, that's kind of how demo man bait his team.
Yeah, okay, that sounds bad, but really what I mean is that if you can have soldiers in the skybox, scouts taking attention, demo man just becomes so much easier. Like, try playing a lobby with random shitters and just tell me that's not the most difficult thing to play demo man in ever, and then try to merc for like a really good team, and you're like, oh, this is way easier than that low level lobby, because it's just like the support that you get from a good team is just so good for demo man. And like, demo man should be behind his teammates, and Delhi was very often in front of them, and that seems very odd to me. Like, it's just so overconfident.
So in the sort of post look back beta, now the harder I think about it, I'm trying to think how Ora Elektro won there. There wasn't. If I had to explain to somebody now how Ora Elektro won, I feel like they just kind of choked hold them onto last for like ever, and that was it. They got a
lot of chances, yes. And then also, like, eventually they did figure out how to do it. They also did a bunch of times where they managed to pressure out a point out of 3.5 stars, right? Like on second, they would take second with even Ubers. Ubers weren't really in effect yet, and they would just pressure them out of the point, and that would give them the last points or the last pushes to try and dabble with. And then, of course, the four-man sacks.
Yeah, that
It
was
happened
nice.
twice, right?
That was nice. You don't see too many of them because they can go obviously disastrously wrong, and you can start flipping rounds quite quickly. Usually, you only see that card played in the viaduct because I mean you can't lose that spawn, can you?
Yeah, Viaduct is kind of uniquely suited for the four-man sack just because of how overly important the medic Uber charge is on that map. Like it just completely trumps everything else compared to what you normally have. On like a 5C map, CP map, you have like scouts. They can go back behind in back cap. You have soldiers and everyone else just like going in, being able to spawn camp or move forward and stealing a lot of points. Most of that stuff is not possible on KOF, so yeah. Anyway, we're talking about Sunshine, right? That's what we're doing.
We're
That's
moving from one MVM to another MVM. Most valued map here is going to be a Sunshine. So it's kind of a, I wouldn't say detested map because we've got we've got Reckoner in the pool, but this map has been around for a while, and you'd think more people would warm up to it, but everyone's still got their little sort of reservations. Is that right, Beta?
I wasn't listening at all. Sorry.
Okay. This map, popular? Yay? Nay?
I think it's been around long enough for me to say that it's probably pretty popular. Like I see this map played in like pickups and lobbies and stuff. So that means it must be popular. Like when people just feel like they can play with random other people and not have them completely suck at a map. That usually is a pretty good benchmark of when a map has made it. And Sunshine in that regard has made it. And I feel like it's just because it's very similar to Process, so it plays in a lot of ways, and it's also just different enough that it still works. So yeah, I think it's pretty popular. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but I also don't hate it or anything. I think my main gripe with this map is the last point, which is, you know, to be fair, my main gripe
with every map.
Most maps, yeah. It's like what map doesn't have the last point that just brings it down? It's like Process, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say Process is pretty nice. I think because Process just throws like 5 million doorways at you, just wins it like CP well done. All right, so the other little probably unique thing about this map is probably the second point, and it's pretty hard to hold on to second point. I would say from like a detached thing. If you've got an Uber coming up against you, you probably want to give up second quite quickly because you can get trapped pretty soon and quickish. But we don't have to theorize it. We don't have to even talk about it because we're living it here, baby. It's Team Fortress TV covering our second map of the quarterfinals or the upper bracket semi-finals, whatever you want to call them. It's Eames and versus RAF. It's 3.5 stars versus Ora Elektro, and already no casualties for either of these teams. They're just playing their own sides.
The trap card. Oh, he was like just staying in his own choke, but not quite able to get it. Medic gets jumped there by a Trump.
Oh my God! He's the man that keeps on giving. He not only got a couple of kills, he got some damage, but he makes Eames turn around and wonder, where is this RAF kid?
Yeah, that was really that was a long con by RAF for sure. It was pretty weird how he got to jump on the enemy medic in his own choke. I don't think that was what he was expecting to catch in his own choke, but I'm sure he welcomed it.
You know all those times, Peter, when you're one of those soldiers playing the long flank and you think it's all going to be worth it. All of my teammates are dying on mid, but I'm going to kill everybody once I get this long flank. This is the flank they dream of when it comes to these mids, and I can't believe I've actually get to see one materialize.
Yeah, kind of crazy to see it. Kind of soldier bombing in very aggressively. That might be a distraction for the other one. RAFs just loop around the bell tower or the light tower.
Eames. Oh, he gets caught out. I warned him. I tried to warn him, Beta. It's hard to hold on to that second point when you haven't got that Uber charge in your back pocket to kind of fall back on, because you just get caught in that little doorway area. It's so hard. Yeehaw He's leaning back on this heavy weapons guy. They've already got a bit of point pressure, and he's being stickied out to within an inch of his life. It does go down. They can maybe start trying to play the point, but they need to focus down Eames and get this Uber charge out as well. They exchange Ubers and exchange a player, but they will get out of this last point successfully.
Despite being a man up, it looks like 3.5 stars are not interested in actually pushing their luck. I don't blame them. They're just going to hold back now and try to build out. And just to kind of expand on what you've been saying about the second point and being trapped in the doors, we've kind of been seeing this, like, I don't know, 5 sticky Ubers or something, where the demo just like teleports into the skybox,
yes.
right? Yeah, and that comes down to the fact that you can like land and just sticky off the door. That's kind of the main crux of that whole strategy. Like, if that wasn't a thing, it wouldn't work.
All right, well, they don't suspect it. They can't possibly think that they'll go spy this early going into a game, but they've done it here, Beta. And he's decloaked. He's got a tasty back onto that medic. Nice, clean stab. You don't see it much in Prem, but when you do, it's magical. So that's a full Uber advantage for 3.5 stars. They even get wrongs as well. Nevo's trying to lock in. Oh, he actually commits to the sniper. Snipe onto Delhi, gets in between the cracks of this Uber charge, and now there's no demo man for this push. QB starts to go aggro and just into the belly. Oh god, and Patrulli needs to back off and reconnect with Alien now, who's just come back from his little glorious run on Spy, and look what he's landed himself into. He has to try and defend second on his own, and I don't think he'll even get out.
Delhi wants to contest it a lot. Like, Alien, he could obviously very well contest this point, but then you're kind of leaving Patrulli out to dry. So that might just be... Both teams just retreated from second. That's weird. But luckily for Ora Elektro, they already capped it, so they just hold on to it. No problem. Patrulli has a slight Uber advantage over Trump. This is not something you can probably push on. Like, I feel like if you want to push on this, you should probably do the 5 sticky one, because that's how you get them out when you have a tiny Uber ad.
Yeah, he's acting strong though. They haven't got the Uber charge in. Oh god, the flank has been decimated. Raph had to come round the corner and help his teammates out. It's a good thing Delhi is kind of pushing all of this Ora Elektro team out on his own. Again, Demoman, second point, no Uber charge. It's difficult, but they've got the Uber charge now. They're feeling brave and they start pushing that second point and defending their red side.
Yeah, it's worth noting that they didn't know exactly where Chris was, so he could like be in choke behind them as far as they knew. It was I don't think Raph had eyes on it the entire time, so I think that's why they decided to just go out. There was a bunch of reasons, obviously, but that's probably the main thing that were on their mind there, that Chris was just unaccounted for, and you knew already that he was probably somewhere behind. So yeah, pretty good job there by Chris. Not a very flashy. Oh, Soda jumps in. Oh, gets bubbled. See you later.
He doesn't even hit the ground before he dies. He gets pistol out, and they will trade soldiers between these two teams. Oh, I say trading. There was a sneaky little trap from Eames onto AZN, and with the soldier advantage, they can maybe get some foothold for Yeehaw to start playing here. Maybe, possibly. He's on the flank.
That's what he does. Neva's going to try and see if he can worm his way in. Doesn't quite work, but he gets the Uber force out. And now Trump's going to have the Uber ad. But I think Eames going to get saved. I don't think Eames was expecting that.
Yeah, I think he felt pretty safe, but Trump was just playing it super safe. And now with no Uber, they can't hold the second point. Eames is humouring the idea, but I'm going to keep saying it till the cows come home. You can't defend second in this sort of position. But they're making the go of it. They push the line anyway. They've got blue players going to the last point. It's a sprint finish for this last. The scout decides to pick on the medic of all classes, and Rav comes backing him up. Will get around onto the board. It's a strong start for 3.5 stars.
QB doing absolute work there. Getting in there, basically just dodging players and taking down the medic, and then they were still focused on him, and then the soldiers came in from the back and just shot them both. So QB didn't even die doing all of that stuff. Gets out the cap. Let's see, we have a very quick Eames rollout. It looks like it's kind of identical to Delhi, so No fast soldier rollouts either. That's usually something you see in this map, but Azien's gonna kind of go behind-ish.
Oh, look at this little sort of dance between these two teams. They're just rotating around the entire point. They will get this sort of bombs out from their two soldiers, and it goes a bit chaotic from this point on. It's really down to the scouts and who can kind of pick off these weak players first, and 3.5-star scouts are just having a much better time with it.
They didn't lose anyone. It's what happens when you go for players and they just successfully manage to retreat, and then you're just kind of ending up shooting fully healed players, and it's not a good outlook. But you're going to have the big Uber advantage. Looks like they're going to go onto last already. They don't have second yet, so don't panic here. If you're Ora Elektro.
They're trying to spam out the sentry gun though, but it gets healed up enough, and it's going to disrupt things just a little bit. But truly, he's playing greedy with this Uber charge. He's stickied off. It will have to actually pop off the Uber now, and they just rotate back into the spawn. They're trying to play the point with Alien. He gets on top of them, will get a quick flash, and Chris is the designated body blocker for this last defense. They're throwing enough bodies onto it. It looks like Delhi wanted to commit, but the rest of 3.5 stars didn't. Now they're coming in into the
Raf's going to come in on the point. He's on the point.
Nice bomb coming out from Raf.
Yeah, really nice job repush there from 3.5 stars. That's up 2-0 now. This makes sense. I'm very tired, so of course it's going to go to 3 maps every time, man. But I'm excited for this. This is going to be good. 3.5 stars, not letting the fact that they beefed a bunch of pushes early on the first map getting to them. They're just going to take a really nice commanding lead here in the first.
Eames.
I don't know, half of this map.
That was a quick rollout from Eames, almost shut down for the Demo Man, but the scouts come and bail him out with clearing out those stickies. Nice sort of quick bombs for Raf, getting some damage in nice and early, and it's a similar story as all the previous mids. Beta, they just have a much better skirmishing.
V2. One of them is a medic. An Asian upward director.
Oh, look at Neo here. He's dodging these rockets. It's such a pain.
Oh, no,
he actually gets him. Oh no, he can't quite get him. He's on 1 HP. He will go down, and I guess medic too strong, or soldier too strong, ground too strong.
Medic's overpowered. That's just so much stuff. Soda's going to jump in very aggressively. Somehow manages to escape as well, but Asian is just kind of beasting this on his own. Not very often you get to see a pocket soldier just shine or win a mid-fight along with a medic.
Yeah, that's a good point. We keep saying Raf is the pocket, but he's been doing a lot of Roman shenanigans on these mids. So the question is still up in the air, and the spam comes out, the corner is denied, and the second point is claimed. They've already got last point. They're posturing for an Uber charge straight into the belly of the beast. They enter in. There's nothing to attack in the beast, though. The beast has retreated, and he's already set up a defense for last. So sticking up, that Uber charge did nothing, Beta.
Not very much, no. Actually, we see once again Delhi's just in so deep, just getting caught out. This is not a good look. It's just now a full grad for the side of Ora Elektro. They're going to cap off this second point, no problem. Delhi's not going to be there in time to put up sticky traps. So basically, if Ora Elektro want to push in, they can just go whatever door they want, and there's not going to be just sticky traps.
Yeah, they should be aware of this. Although they are playing quite sheepishly, they still don't want to rule out the idea. Yeehaw! 2v1 on the flank. They've figured out the combo. Raf will back up his boy, but he's being chased, and there's an awkward fight on second. Whilst okay, now it's a 2v1 during all of this. Ora Elektro capping out midpoint. You'd think the rest of 3.5 stars would join in on the fight, while Raf and Chris are having their own little Dragon Ball Z bout.
And ACN gonna go down to Eames. That's really big. Trump's gonna pop it up.
Oh, this could be trouble though. That's an Uber charge advantage for 3.5 stars. Raf finally goes down. The mortal can be slain, and with 2 soldiers down, I think Eames might even humor getting a force out onto Patchouli.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of clumping up down in the little door. They might have to go out through lower, but they're just going to take the Uber exchange instead. Not able to find Trump though.
Yeah, they forced the Uber though. Mission accomplished, team, well done. So they've backed off. They've got a nice 50% now. Everybody's going to be coming back rather quickly as well, as they have got that forward respawn thanks to the midpoint. And 18 minutes left. That's still a lot of time in FPS land, Beta.
A lot of time indeed. We see Trump here building. Come on. Is this the time where Eames does the big sticky? No, it is not. I'm telling you, if you have Uber ad, this is the best Uber on this map. It's so good. It's also super dangerous and risky. But it looks like
Easy and getting out. What the hell? How did that man not die? Well, oh no!
Well jinxed, sir.
Oh,
well
Caster's curse. Don't you hate it when you just open the front door and there's like £1 million as well just waiting for you? Oh, come on, that doesn't work.
Such is the life. Chris gonna jump in there, and I think there was a heavy and a sentry gun just immediately mowing him down. Pretty funny. But he might just want to go onto a banner or an off class. This is a great banner point, by the way. It's really, really easy to build a banner when you're in the offense.
AZN? Maybe? No. God. Curse of the doorway. If it's your doorway, don't take it. It seems to be the motto for this Sunshine Second. We've got 2 Ubers apiece for teams. We've got Rons spamming out the sentry gun, then getting bullied. And oh, actually Delhi going down again. Yeehaw getting in from the flank and even gets a bonus soldier kill as well. The man's on fire, literally and metaphorically, and will take the Uber in for his job well done. Takes out a soldier as well. The boy's on a rampage. He's got 5 kills. He's got the round for his team.
Yeah, and he's just crunched at the same time as well. It's the classic play. It's the play that works at every level of TF2. Pressure the point. Put stickies on the point, detonate stickies. Success. It works at every level of TF2, and there we go. Eames also he did hit some pipes, so I don't want to downplay it. Eames again is so much faster than Delhi.
Yeah, but they do a good job, the scouts though, joining Delhi and clearing these stickies, so the advantage isn't really great for them. They do waste a lot of time though, and that's a lot of foothold and control for Ora Elektro to play off here, but I don't see shots landing quite as fluidly as they were hoping to play here. AZN's going to go for his big boy jump, goes for the jugular, takes out the medic for one. Ora Elektro are none the wiser because they're too busy dealing with the front. Oh, they do send Chris in to get Patchouli. He is successful. They lose the battle, but they might win out in the war yet, Peter.
They might yet just do that. Trump, he could go crit streak here if he decides to. This is a pretty good opportunity to do it. He decides not to. Just going to go for the regular old tiny Uber advantage. Let's see, Patchouli. Okay, he heals pretty quickly, so it's going to be a small Uber ad. Not something we can really push off, but I quite like crit streak into mid from second for some reason on this map. It works out pretty well. Big soldier bombs, doing their best to just spam out the medic and make sure that he can't enter freely, but looks like Ora Elektro have just kind of absorbed all the aggression to the degree that they're fine. And just as I say that, I jinxed it again. I'm sorry, team.
Yeah, it seems their play to kind of force these pushes is just to throw Rons in there and hope he takes up enough space. And oh my god, that was some crisp pipes.
Again? Somehow.
Yeah.
Keeps getting it.
Gets Patchouli, but they've lost every other player on that team, Beater, and the capping second. Rons is the only one alive, and he's so far behind. Maybe, but he's been spotted as well. He's a lumpy little soldier. It's going to take a while for him to get back into action. They could get stickies on the point here, and they don't even need them. Throw in Rons at the last moment, but it's a little too late. 3 rounds. The 2-0 cushion is back.
Is a really important clap back here from the Frenchies. You don't want to get caught up with Ora Elektro, because Ora Elektro, they are really good at slowing the game down and then taking advantage. We saw that on the first map. So keeping Ora Elektro in a position where they need to be aggressive is super important for them, I feel like. Once again, no fast soldier rollouts. Kind of surprising.
Ooh. Eames starting off the mid somewhat decently strong, getting some nice damage in, but I don't see any sort of aggression or play. Teams are just mirroring each other right now, banking on these soldiers to do work for both of them. Raph seems the more scarier one. He's got a bigger history of it and gets the kill onto Ron somehow. I don't know how that played out, but both teams are just skirmishing off. It could come down. Eames gets a clinching sort of counter against AZN's bomb, and that should be the tide turner here as they're just playing the point. They've even got Chris behind, and it's just another fire for 3.5 stars to put out here. Nice fight from Eames to clinch this first mid for Ora Elektro.
Yeah, Patchouli desperately trying to get a saw, unable to do so. Unfortunate there. At least Trump got the Uber Force, so there's not going to be an immediate Uber advantage coming, just barreling down their throat, but it's going to be there either way. It's going to be a big enough advantage to push on, and Trump should know that there's a Uber, like the medic just spawned now. So they know.
Playing with fire. There's a sniper there. Gets the headshot onto him.
Gets air piped as well. Somehow, okay. Thank God doesn't live. There would be no justice in the world.
Man, I feel like if they play things a bit more patiently, I think Rons will be back actually by the time they get this Uber charge. So, I don't think a cheeky little bomb here and there isn't going to hurt poor Ora Elektro.
Yeah, but what's the point of that bomb, though? I don't get it.
We don't ask those questions here, Beta. We're going in. Alien actually stunts Eames' little jumper, mid-air sort of snipe onto Eames, but fortunately it was fully Uber charged.
Everyone's caught in spawn. Somehow they managed to get out, though.
They've got the pyro, that's why. Pushing back any spam. They will lose him, and they get the heavy weapons with an Uber charge, but he's easily kited. They just back out, and they want to come back in. He's turned too many different directions. This demo man is overwhelmed, and it's a round on the board. Cushion taken away.
Great repush. That's a really good observation to see that, hey, we can actually go in there. It's so easy to just give up when the enemy team has a heavy. Like, just fully buffed, fully spun up, just completely peppering you out of the point. But yeah, Eames just saw that, no. We actually have the opportunity to go in here, and they were really well spread out.
Eames, I feel like he's been having a stronger mids, despite not being his team having the majority of them. So, I'm all eyes to see if it was a fluke for their last mid over on Ora Elektro. Chris is having a fun time in Cafe, just shooting ground, get kill, easy clap. So. And the scouts are actually weaseling their way on top of the soldiers as well. Where's Patchouli? Where's Alien? They're out of there.
Absolutely gone. Eames, he did like 87 damage to the demo man, and then Chris just came in and followed up. So you're absolutely right. Eames have been having much better mids.
Oh, there goes Chris. Well, they had an Uber charge and they tried to jump in, but a shocker, absolutely shocking news and turns events. They run a sniper at last, Beta. Who could have seen this coming?
It's incredible. This might be a new meta.
Well, I'm gonna give a bit of leeway as well. Give my burns alongside with my compliments. They probably would have thought they had even Ubers there between both these teams because Patchouli kept himself alive, Trum was alive. I don't think they wanted to even push in with an Uber charge there, even though they had advantage.
Even if they knew the exact Uber charges, they probably still wouldn't have pushed. It's not that big of an ad. So currently we're seeing the 7th sentry on the left side with a pyro. Super difficult to block out. It's going to go down. Again, looks very suspicious, that kill. Like, you're just thinking, okay, is it spy or is it sniper? That's the question. Like, if Yeehaw comes back as scout, that's a twist.
Whoa!
Oh my God!
Dun, dun, dun.
Has he left spot? He has. What a twist!
I bet he's like, wow, sniper moves quick nowadays, isn't it? All right, Eames, what have you got for us? You come back with cookie cutter. You must have something in the tank for us. Let's see what's cooking in that brain.
A revolutionary.
Please don't tell me it's just wrong. Oh, okay. Neva goes down to some traps, and they're just forcing left-hand side. I'm not sure if I like this because they just rotate the demo man round. And look, I think Rons does live, but that could have gone better.
I have a theory. I have a theory, TurboTabs. All right.
Oh, here we go.
Yeehaw. He went and left, died like a moron. Like everyone's just going, okay, he's going for sniper or spy, right? So he comes back as scout, and that means that they go, oh, okay, we have the sentry on the right side, so we don't need to watch that at all. So we're just gonna have people forward on the left side. Make sure to hold that from the inevitable sniper, and then Orlex just busted through. So it was like a double figure. How do you like my theory?
Well, I mean, it interests me, but one trap later, like we saw, kind of decimated that as well.
Oh, wow.
It tickled me in theory. It did not produce results in reality.
Pyro's just going to flame his opposition, not with words, just with
Look, Delhi gets another trap. Again, they keep going for this right-hand play, and Delhi's going to keep setting up the traps. Ron's caught out this time, though, and Alien, he's actually getting some fair damage on them. Keep in mind, that's heal reduction, isn't it, with Pyro Flames? He's, yeah, the man is still rocking it. He drops down, and if they had more men over on 3.5 stars, I think they would have kept going, but they baited them into a push, and now they can actually successfully go into last without having to pop Uber immediately. Nice rocket coming out from Chris, and he's still going aggressive. Gets burned down by the Pyro, but that's some eyes turned for 3.5 stars, and more casualties drop down. Patchouli has forced the pop. He stands on the point. It's a Uber Pyro, ladies and gentlemen, pushing them off the point. One air blast at a time. A reflex coming out, but it ends all the same. 3-3. It's a tide turner here for Ora Elektro.
7 minutes remaining. Somehow, what looked to be a nice, secure French map has all of a sudden turned into anyone's game. So I'm gonna give them a slight edge here, just because they're the team coming back and they won the first map in sort of a same kind of deal where they just eventually managed to win. Again, Eames a lot faster, but it's not like you can just lock out a choke like you can on Gollywash on this map.
Yeah, and Delhi, though, keeping him on his toes, actually changes path, and Eames doesn't matter too much. They do exchange 2 demo men apiece, and 3.5 stars come out better on the body cat. Oh, I've been rudely changed up the fact, but yeah, the ground just looks a bit stronger for Ora Elektro, and Yeehaw, he's climbing the ladder. He's climbing the ladder, he's getting high ground. Anakin, it's over. And they still are running the chariot across. Respawners have arrived from both teams. You've heard of 1 mid. Have you heard of 2 mids, Peter? We're going back in, and Alien can't really leave. He can't really continue forward. Actually does leave. Well.
Yeah, double the fun, double the trouble. Trump is going to actually get popped there. So now it's going to be Patchouli with the Uber ad. Looks like Chris tried his best to get in there. Second sword is going to come in as well. Pax eventually pops, but this might just be one of your just actually a good Uber situations.
Oh, Nevo, is Nevo going to hit the kill onto Delhi?
Okay.
The man stands his ground and shoots the man dead. They've got second point, but at what cost? Midpoint, it's going to be awkward now. Eames, he's feeling big, he's feeling strong, he's feeling like he wants to hold on to this midpoint. Chris has rejoined the game. He's got an easy kill for his team, and Eames even held the line for a bit. It does cost his life, but his teams hold on to mid. They can keep pushing with this.
They're going to do their best to get in here, get a bit of open space, but Ron's not going to quite find what he was looking for there. There's an Uber ad here coming in, and you can see they're actually jumping both soldiers behind. This is very uncomfortable for 3.5 stars, but they're doing a pretty good job of just maintaining their positioning on this high ground on second. It really is the place you want to be. Pops coming out, and it's down to Chris.
Oh, Chris, every other soldier, I think, would have bombed in there and trust their sort of shooting instincts. But Chris plays the chokehold, just bees annoying, shoots long rockets, denies area, and then comes in for the ultimate flank. It pays off beautifully for Ora Elektro, as now they could they'll quick off their feet, get to last point with this heal advantage.
Yeah, Devilman and Medic just spawned though, so that's a really nice combo to have here, holding last. So it might just be that they're going to wait, especially now that more spawners are coming in. Alien's on Sniper, he tends to hit shots, so I think Trump's just going to wait for the Uber, and unfortunately there's no good double sticky Uber in here, really, on this last, but you can still go in through right side and just like jump in the Demo Man, lock off the right spawn, and then just crush the left spawn. That's kind of the standard push.
Alright, we have the Uber charge. They popped in. Alien's going to hang about and hopefully get a sniper somewhere between the cracks of the Uber charge. Doesn't quite work out though. And they're playing the point. They've got Scout shooting the stickies, and yeah, they're just meat grinding what's left of this team on the left hand side. It's a 4th round. The comeback is complete, Peter.
Yeah, that was pretty much what I said was going to happen, right? Like they lock out the right spawn, and then Eames just comes through to the left spawn with some soldier help, and just crushes it with really big damage as people were just kind of filing out of spawn. If you get caught in spawn, like Demo Man can really punish you, and Eames did that, and the soldiers followed up really well.
Alright, another mid. I think if they actually win this out now, I think they've not only had a redemption in the game, but a redemption of these mids. Chris comes around the corner, doesn't quite finish off the medic. They throw in Ron, dedicate to get that medic pick. Now they need to blob up here for Ora Elektro and just play the aggressors, and look at all the kills flocking to them one by one. It's because they want that medic kill, and they did get it, but it was a heavy price here, Beta.
It's just going to be Alien versus 2.
Oh, he doesn't know which target to choose from. He actually goes down.
Yeah, eventually. Too much. He did a pretty good job. Like, Nibu was very weak as well. You know, he just needs one good loot shot to actually take that fight, at least to an interesting place. Man, Eames just predicted that soldier so hard, did so much damage to him, but somehow actually trades with the scout. It's gonna make it a lot more difficult, but double soldier bomb onto the blue medic and Demo Man, doing so much work, and that's just going to be a complete collapse of 3.5 stars.
You know, I hope you've been paying attention to the lesson here, Beta, because I'm going to give you a pop quiz, okay? You're holding second and you don't have an Uber charge. What happens?
Complete disaster.
Complete disaster! You cannot defend that second point. It's too hard. It's too hard, even for these Prem players. So that's a nice, easy cushion around for them. There's no comeback that can be made now. I know they were desperate, Beta. I know they only had 2 minutes left, but I think they need to get a bit more aggro rather than just playing slowly second like that. But yeah, it's all said and done.
Yeah, now is the time to go for a jumper mid, Eames. Do it.
Teleport. Do the meme.
Yeah. Jumper mids is actually so good on Sunshine as well. I think at least Delhi should do it. He would actually have like a real meme to do it. You know, for his speed.
Imagine having a name that rhymes with memes and then not doing the meme jump.
I know. Fun story. The first time I casted Eames, it was like, it's like a Div 2 playoff game or something. I don't know. But I thought Eames was Spanish. So obviously, the way you pronounce his name is Eames. Right? Like that's how it's pronounced, because he was Spanish. I don't know why I thought he was Spanish, but that's how I pronounce his name, Eames or Eames.
Oh no, it's El Eames. He's turned up to me.
Yeah.
A Frenchman's nightmare, the Spanish. Alright. Oh,
They'll never recover from that battle. 15
seconds left on the clock. I'm sure you can count with me, Twitch chat, because it's just counting the seconds for Eames to get up to his upper bracket final, I think it is now. So, yeah, it's done. It's over. Ora Elektro wins.
Crushing.
It's a repeat of week 6 from week 8 into our week 9 of our upper bracket game. A nice, clean sort of win for Ora Elektro on the ETF2L tables at least, but it was a hard-fought set of games here, Beta.
Yeah, like no captain required, but you know they really had to get in here. But I think this, if you look at the teams going into the season, I think this will actually come as a surprise to a lot of people, just how well Ora Elektro have been able to do. But yeah, they've really proven themselves, and I'm always happy to see Eames up in here. He's missed a lot of playoffs. He's had some really heartbreaking results, and he just never stops coming back.
Yeah, he's a diligent mind in TF2, and I think you know, I wouldn't be too sad if I see the man walking away with gold, but he's gonna have to earn it, and it is a tall task because he has to beat the big playoff beast Fortoast in this upper bracket final. But we might still see these 3.5 star carries and players a little bit down the line, because they've got a lower bracket game to play against Garda Pandera here, Beta.
Why can't... okay, I want to know this. Do you not know how to say it, or are you just intentionally saying it?
Well, I'm saying it right. Garden Pandemia.
Yeah, like Garden Panteria or whatever you've been saying is wonderful. But yeah, it's Garda Pantry or Yugoslavia, whatever you like.
All right,
one of those two.
so 3.5 stars will probably be the next game against Garden Panther. Let's see if Eames can face their bout against Fortos. Which one will come first is still a sight to be seen, but I know where you can get the information, Beta. You can head on over to your favorite website, your favorite form on the entire internet. I still visit every single day.
Pornhub?
I mean, I wish it's teamfortress.tv.
Oh, okay. I was close.
Yeah. All right, boys. Let's pack it up. We're not going to get any interviews yet. That's a final sort of content piece. But to get there, we're going to have to end the show and head on into the future. So thank you very much to everybody tuning in. I've been TurboTabs hosting this. A big thank you to Ora Elektro and 3.5 stars for a wonderful game. Congrats to obviously Ora Elektro. A big shout out to my co-caster Beta. Thank you for joining us this evening. And a big shout out to Rahmed, our favorite. He likes the forum. I know he does. We've actually banned the lad. No raw threads past midnight. You've been told. Okay, let's go. Bye bye, Twitch chat. See you later. Bye bye. Ta ta.
Behave.